in a bit. Early morning, getting those steps and getting movement in. Let's do it. Good morning, happy Monday. Welcome back to another week of my life. It's like 8:30 right now. Ace and I just got back from the track. Woke up early, went for like a mile walk to a track nearby. I did some sprints. He did some like running. So I'm trying to get more sprints into my workouts. So I've been doing that. Did about a mile and then we did a mile back. So we're at like 6,000 steps today. Perfect way to start the day. Perfect way to start the week. As you guys know, it's Monday. Mondays and Tuesdays are like heavy editing days. So we're about to lock in here in a minute. But I just wanted to welcome you guys to the vlog. And we're about to do another week of my life in New York City. So let's get into the vlog.
About to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Alright, we are heading to the gym now. Let's do it. Tuesday. We're about to do a coffee run. It's like 8 a.m. I slept in because the Love Island reunion went kind of late last night, so I needed the extra sleep. We're gonna go grab some coffee and we're gonna kind of hop right into a work day, which you guys know I don't love, but it's fine. It is what it is. We're just gonna have to find some time in the middle of the day to just like slow down, like, you know, reset, make sure we get all our stuff done, and I might work a little bit later tonight to make up for it, but let's go get the coffee to start. Okay, so despite waking up late, I'm very grateful that my new job does allow me to like have more of a flexible schedule. So I'm still gonna do my morning routine here. We're still gonna do our skincare. We're still listening to worship music. You know, we're not going for our morning walk right away, but we're still gonna get our 15K steps in, hit the gym, Bible time, all of that stuff. We're just like rearranging how our day looks. And I do this a lot where it's like, when I first started in the industry, when there wasn't really like a set schedule in my early 20s, I feel like I struggled a lot because I didn't really know how to make a schedule for myself. And I felt like I needed a very strict routine and all of that stuff. And now I feel like I've gotten to a point where it's like, there's certain things I have to do every day. And I feel like having a 0 hour on Sunday where I really plan out my week and like, I write every time I'm going to the gym, I write out any meetings I have, like, and then the rest, I'm like, okay, I need a journal at some point. I need to make sure I'm getting my steps in. I need to make sure I'm eating healthy and all that. Like, I just make sure that stuff like fits in throughout the week. And so I feel like I've gotten into a really good habit of that. And so, for example, it's like 8:30 now. I like to start working around 9, sending like a big text to the girls of like what the agenda is for the day, what's going on, anything I need approval of. And so I just went and got coffee. I'm gonna have a little breakfast here. I'm getting ready, doing my skincare. I'm gonna throw just the tiniest bit of makeup on, and I'm gonna just kind of lock in until 11 a.m. 11 a.m. is when I usually hit the gym every day, because you guys know me, I'm a midday gym girl. And then I will come back and I have to go film something later. But like other things I want to do today is I still have to get last week's vlog up. I need to finish that edit, not even finish, let's be real. I need to start that edit and whatnot. But the whole point of me rambling right now is it's just like about making time in the day to get everything done and like really like time blocking and like giving room for adjustments and stuff and not being so strict. I feel like in my early 20s when I was doing this type of like lifestyle where I was, you know, a little all over the place, I didn't really have like time blocking and time management skills. It was like, okay, I slept in an extra, you know, hour or two than I normally would, so that means I'm gonna maybe work a little bit later tonight, or I'm going to like just juggle stuff around. We're about to go to the gym. We have our form set on that you guys know we're obsessed with, and we're gonna use our form bag. I swear there's always stuff in this apartment because we're still adjusting and getting used to just like, we're like constantly going through stuff still. So like bear with us, it's not done yet. We're getting a new bed here soon, so that's where like, that's a mattress topper, that's why that's there. But anyways, we're about to go to the gym, get a quick workout in, and then yeah, we just locked in for like 4 hours. It really wasn't that interesting. We were like doing captions and copy and like just tons of stuff. And then we are, like I said, workout, and then we're gonna go meet Brooke a little bit later to go film some content for her Lower East Side. So we're gonna do that, and then I don't know. Probably have to finish more editing and more work and more things. But anyways, let's go to the gym. LOL at me being like, oh, I don't know what I have to do the rest of the day. I need to get last week's vlog up today because it's Tuesday. I really need to start editing these sooner. It's literally, I have no excuse. I just don't edit them until like the day I'm going to post it. And I ideally want to post it Tuesday morning. But last week I had an issue with posting it, and I don't think it even went up till Thursday. So it is what it is. Anyways, let's go get a workout in. All right, we finished filming and we're actually in here editing the vlog. Oh my gosh, just ran into the wall. We're actually in here editing the vlog. We're editing on this bigger screen because Ace came with this massive setup, and I kind of dissed on it for a second. So I was like, this is so much stuff, and now I like literally edit here every day, so love that. But yeah, we're gonna be locked in editing for the rest of the night. I don't think it's gonna be that interesting, so I will catch you guys on our Wednesday. Okay, so we're gonna chit chat for a minute. First of all, I want to welcome you back to this vlog. I feel like I haven't really introed the vlog / been vlogging. It's Wednesday. As you guys saw, Monday morning, Ace and I went to the track, got our steps in. I was doing some sprints because I'm trying to get back into that. I just want to share how I've been feeling because maybe someone can relate. Everyone always says like, oh, you're so hard on yourself. You're so hard on yourself. Like, sure, like a lot of people are hard on themselves, but I genuinely deal with thoughts that I am lazy, that I am not a hard worker. These are constant thoughts that play in my head every week that I have to rebuke, that I have to identify as lies, that I have to remind myself that they're just not true. I'm really working with God on like figuring out where that stems from. I was talking to Skylar about it earlier today, and she's like, it stems from fear. You just have to find out where the fear is rooted in. And I think it's to a point in that so important to have godly friendships where you can have someone where you're telling your problems to or something you're frustrated with, and they can literally soundboard back the voice of God, because I feel like I just vented to her about all of this stuff and everything I'm feeling, and I kind of word vomited, and she just like came back with such sound godly advice. And I don't know if maybe you're out there, maybe I think it's really common in New York. New York is a place where a lot of people come to work, to climb the ladder, to grow something, to build something amazing and great, to fulfill their dreams. And I think it's really easy to kind of get lost in like the comparison or the impatience of all of it. You see people next to you, blowing up or having success or whatever. And while you're happy for them, I think it can be really easy to be like, okay, God, like, I feel this, this dream. I have this dream that I feel like you gave me, and it's just not happening yet. I feel like I'm running out of time, which you're never running out of time. It's always on God's time. But like, it can feel that. Like, I think, it's really frustrating when you can have these feelings and people try to invalidate your feelings by saying, you're so young, you have time, you don't compare yourself, blah, blah, blah. Because it's like, well, duh, I know that. I know that, like, it's on God's timing. I know that it's, like, I gotta surrender this to God. Like, all those things, but it's like you can't help it. You're still like, and feeling this way and wrestling with it. And I think that's kind of where I'm at now, where it's like, okay, I know all the right things to do, but I'm still mentally like dwelling and ruminating on like the things that I shouldn't be. I'm overthinking it. I'm thinking, letting the lies creep in and dwelling on the lies and, getting impatient. And so I just wanted to talk about that really quick. That's how I've been feeling. And this is where a godly friendship comes to play, because while I know the right answer, I know I can identify that these are lies that I'm telling myself. I can identify the areas that I need to trust God more and things I need to surrender to God. Sometimes God will use your godly friendships to speak his word back into your life. And for me, I feel like he's done that so many times, because sometimes on my own, I just can't hear that clearly. I think there's a lot of noise. I think I try to figure things out for myself. And I feel like he always uses people around me to speak to me. And I feel like he just did that now with Skylar, where I just am reminded of like, okay, first of all, I am only 27. God has something big for me. And take your emotions, take your feelings out of it, and know that correction is okay. know that criticism is okay. People can give you feedback and all of that's okay. It doesn't mean you suck. It doesn't mean you're bad or bad at your job. You need to figure out what you're feeling is fear, and you need to figure out where that fear is rooted. And so that conversation with Skylar was just so needed, because I really feel like God was really using her in that moment to speak to me. And then I could almost know exactly what to pray to God about. I feel like I was just before, like, I don't know, God, like, I'm frustrated, I'm feeling this and this and this. And then I kind of then turned and talked to Skylar about it. And she was like, no, this is fear. You got to figure out what it's rooted in. And then I can take that and go, God, why am I scared? What is this fear that I have in my life? When you tell us not to worry, you tell us not to have fear. You're not a God of fear. You're not a God of confusion. So like, what is it that, like, why am I feeling this? And I can then work with God through that. And so that's like my first point I want to talk to you guys, and just be vulnerable. I feel like I never like just sit and like share my mind. I feel like I'm constantly like, okay, I got my steps in today. Okay, I'm editing. Okay, I'm cooking dinner. And like, yeah, that's what I do. You guys know I'm obsessed with my steps. You know, I love to get movement, and I'm really big on building healthy habits, because I think there's just so much that goes into, and that's a whole nother tangent when it comes to like healthy habits and health and your mindset and your work ethic. They all tie in together. But I'd never really sit down and say, this is where my head has been at today. Like, I might, be vague about it and be like, oh, I've been in a weird headspace today, but I never sat down and been like, I am struggling with fear. I am struggling with lies that I'm not a hard worker. I'm struggling with like just, real things. And then talking about the God side of it, where it's like, but, what does God's word say? What is these, like, what are my, godly friends say to me about this? And I just think I want to encourage you, if you're somebody who's felt this, or maybe you're a girl in the city who, you moved from a small town like me, and you came here with a dream, and you feel stuck in that, you feel confused in that, you feel like it's not, like it should have happened already. I just want to encourage you to, be careful who you tell that stuff to. Be careful who you're kind of venting, quote unquote, to, because you want to make sure you are venting to a friend who is going to soundboard back the voice of God. And then B, once you do that, or if you do that, like, know that like really get to the root of why you're feeling that, and get to the root of that with God and nobody else, because people will constantly give you advice and opinions and all of that, and it's usually hopefully coming from a place of love. But at the end of the day, you don't want it too many other things, other opinions and noises in your head. You really just want the voice of God and be able to hear that so clearly. And so that's my little random tangent. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I just felt like I needed to get that off my chest. But we're going to get back into the vlog. We're going to get back into our work day. And yeah, so happy Wednesday. Okay, apartment's messy, but this is the random fit we're wearing. We're going over to Danielle's to help her film some stuff, and then we're gonna go for a walk with Raquel. So we have this Aerie top, Abercrombie tank, Aerie shorts, Target shoes. That's the vibe. My energy's so low today, but you know what? We're gonna power through. So let's do it.